Hello everyone! Today we're talking about vegetarian and vegan diet forms. Just giving you a short explanation about which is which, what is up, what is down. Not the benefits or the negative effects of it. Nope. We won't discuss that. There's probably other videos about it. But these vegan vegetarian diets, they range on a scale, and I call them vegetarian diets, and then I put them on a scale from least strict, which is omnivore, where you eat everything, including meats, blah blah blah, and least strict to you basically cut out everything apart from plant-based foods. There are many reasons why someone would choose to go on a vegetarian diet form. It could either be cultural reasons, for example, if you're a Hindu or you conform to Buddhism, but they might contradict themselves a bit. So for example, you might not be allowed to eat cow, but you're allowed to eat chicken. So it just depends on your religion and what you are specifically doing where you can place yourself in whatever category or not. If you don't wish to, you don't have to. Another reason could be culture, that maybe your family or your parents, they live a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, and then you do it because you've grown up with them having that. It could also be like climate concerns, that you want to change to more plant-based diet in order to save the planet from all of the CO2 and all of the production and all of the meat industries. It could also be if you have animal cruelty concerns, that you think that it's obviously it's harmful to the animals, but you think that it's sad for the animals, and therefore you might want to stop eating meat. Another one, which could be economic, and you can branch that off into two chains. One part of the economic is where you choose to live a vegetarian lifestyle, and thereby you proactively choose it, so you have the economy to go and choose it if it's expensive in the country that you live in. Another reason or another branch of the economic could be that maybe you are in poverty and you can't afford meat, so you are left with the plant-based options, even though you don't really have a desire or an aspiration to live vegetarian, like a vegetarian lifestyle or a vegan lifestyle. And the last one, which I forgot to mention, is obviously you can also have just a preference on it, and you can eat however you want. That is also a good reason for choosing a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, obviously. Let's start with the most strict section, which is the vegan. And there are 4 different types of vegans. One of them is that they just eat plant-based foods. That's it. They only eat plant-based food, but they still purchase non-edible things from animals like leather, gelatin, silk. It's type 1. Type 2 would be people or vegans that eat plant-based foods and also cut out all non-edible animal products. So they don't purchase leather, they don't purchase gelatin, they don't purchase silk. They just abstain from everything that comes from animals. Type 3 is raw vegans. They eat plant-based foods, but cooking is not allowed. Like, that's a no-no. So you can eat plant-based foods, but cooking them? Nope. No. The last but not least, type 4, is the whole food vegan, and they aspire to stay away from vegan junk food and vegetarian junk food. But here, you are allowed to cook it. You're just not to that much degree, because you want to pick whole foods like bell peppers. You don't want to pick a pizza because I know it's made up of lots of whole foods, but the thing itself is a processed food, if you get what I'm saying. So we have people who just eat plant-based but buy everything else. People who eat plant-based and abstain from all animal products. Part 3, people who eat plant-based and don't cook their food. This is a major generalization, but generally raw food is where cooking isn't allowed. And type 4, whole foods, generally pick whole foods over processed products. Next up on the list, we have fruitarians. It kind of gives it away in the name, but fruitarians mainly eat fruit, and if they were to eat something else, they also eat nuts and seeds. So nuts, seeds, fruit. We have lacto-vegetarians. Lacto stands for lactose, which you find in milk and milk products, and to some degree, cheese. So lacto-vegetarians can eat plant-based diet, milk products, and cheese. Lacto-ovo-vegetarians have the same sort of diet, except for the ovo stands for egg. So if you're a lacto-ovo vegetarian, you can eat a plant-based diet, milk products, cheese, and egg. If you are a pescatarian, you can eat everything I just listed, including fish. So they eat a plant-based diet, fish products, and most of them also eat milk products, cheese, and egg. And this specific diet is very close resembled to the Mediterranean diet, where you just have a little bit more wine, and some people have extra olive oil and some people have extra virgin olive oil. Whichever one you choose, it doesn't really matter, but that's the one that resembles really close to each other. Then we have a branch of kind of vegetarians, which is nearing the less strict section, which is called semi-vegetarians, where you eat meat on special occasions, or you eat meat sometimes, but most people eat it on special occasions, like birthdays, or if you go out to dinner to a restaurant. And some people, when they're semi-vegetarians, don't eat red meat, so they only stick to light meat, like chicken instead of beef, or turkey instead of lamb. So that's how you would go about the semi-vegetarians, that they eat meat occasionally, but some people might have a preference to which meat they're eating. It's not all that has that, but just a trend that we see in the literature. Then we have the pseudo-vegetarians, who are kind of like the semi-vegetarians that I just explained, but they don't always do it. They do it sometimes, and they would like to be vegetarians. So that's the one you would find on the least strict section. Talking about health impacts for vegetarian and vegan lifestyles is a major thing to consider, because if you automatically switch to vegetarian or vegan, doesn't mean you will become that much healthier. It really depends on your food choices. If you just live off vegan or vegetarian junk food, I mean, I don't think your health status is going to get that much better. You really have to turn around the packet and then look at what you're eating. So the health benefits from switching diets really depends on your food choices, like all aspects of diet. Even if you don't go vegetarian or don't go vegan, your health benefits still depend on the food you put in your mouth. If you pick a variation of different foods, and you usually use plant-based foods and legumes and pulses and whole grains and stuff like that, I'm really inclined to say healthier options, but everything in moderation. But those categories that I just listed now, and the low-fat milk products and low-fat cheeses, not to say that you have to go pick a low-fat option, just pick a cheese or a milk that's low in fat percentage right off the bat, so like skimmed milk instead of semi-skimmed milk, those sorts of things. But if you were to choose those when swapping diets or changing into a more vegetarian or more vegan diet, like going down the ladder, you would experience, or you wouldn't experience, but you would see results such as lowered cholesterol, lowered saturated fats. You would have lower energy in your diet, which means that if you are in a calorie deficit, Really, if you are in a calorie deficit, you will decrease in weight, and that in turn will lower your BMI. But only if you're in a calorie deficit. Because vegan and vegetarian diets don't just automatically make you lose weight. You have to be in a low calorie deficit. So do pay attention to that. They don't just work like magic. It's consistency and it's hard work. If you swap to a more vegetarian or vegan lifestyle, there are these vitamins and minerals that you want to pay attention to, because you might be lacking them if you swap to this diet form and stay on it for ages. And the lacking symptoms will only show up years later. So you won't feel it right now, and you maybe won't feel it in a couple of weeks' time, but maybe in a couple of months or a year you will feel it. But don't worry, you can easily fix it by some vitamin pills and supplements, and your physician and clinical dietitian and nutrition expert with a degree can help you with that. So stay tuned. Iron, zinc, and iodine are more difficult to get when you're a vegetarian and a vegan, because there's a lower bioavailability, which means it is harder for the body to extract zinc, iron, and iodine from plant-based products than if they were from other sources. Not only that, because of the low bioavailability, you have to eat way larger amounts than you would have if you ate other sources. So in turn, is it even possible to eat all that food to gain all of those, or all that amount of iron, zinc, and iodine that your body needs? You also need to watch out for calcium, which really affects your bones. Calcium is found in milk products, so if you eat milk products and drink milk, you're pretty good to go. Stuff like healthy fats, especially omega-3, and they make something called EPA and DHA. And if you're not familiar with those terms and you don't want to look it up, that's fine. You just need to know that healthy fats, omega-3, those are usually found in plant-based oils or fish, fatty fish, and nuts, mixed nuts especially, because you want to get a variety. You don't just want to eat one set of nuts, so you want to eat lots of different mixed ones. And then the last ones are vitamin D and B12. B12 we cannot get for any other sources than animal products, but you can go to the doctor and get a jab, an injection with B12, and then you're sorted for like half a year. It really depends on the doctor and the injection that they're using, but you can also get small vitamin pills that contain B12 and D and vitamin D. Vitamin D also helps with your bones and the synthesis in terms of calcium and all that, and you get it from sunlight. Apart from if you live in the northern hemisphere like I do, then I have to take a substitute from October to April because the sun rays aren't that strong. But with that note, my tips would be pick whichever vegetarian lifestyle or vegan lifestyle that suits your morals and your lifestyle, and if none of them fit, don't pick one. I mean, pick whatever you want. And then think about how you can incorporate that into your life. And then go talk with a physician, your doctors, clinical dietitian, nutritionist, or someone with a nutritionist degree. Do not contact someone who doesn't have a nutrition degree, because it can cause major backlash in years' time. So do take your nutrition seriously and make sure that they can help you with how the lifestyle that you have chosen can align with your morals and your values, and how you can carry that out in your life, and how you can make the diet fit your life, because your life should never fit the diet. Goodbye.